It's been a low energy week this week. This is my weekly rotation. I'm going to go through them now, and starting with Monday, I started off with my favorite patchouli scent, which is Patchouli Nobile. I've talked about this several times in the channel on several videos. Ask me questions about it in the comments if you need to know more. But something new I wore on Monday afternoon after Patchouli Nobile wore off was, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, this is spelled methexis on some websites. I think that character in the middle is a Latin character. It is from independent perfumer Manos Garikinis, who I got to meet and speak to a little bit in Milan earlier this year at Exons, and I got to try this and got a sample. This one is a gourmand perfume. You look at the list of notes and it screams gourmand. There's fig fruit, dried fruits, honey, cacao, and I'm not generally a fan of that genre of perfume just because normally they are too saccharine sweet and just overdosed with stuff that but this one here, I'm in love with this fig fruit note. So it's not fig leaf. There's nothing green about it. It's just this gorgeous, juicy fruit with a really dry cacao, dry, dusty cacao, unsweetened. The honey is there, and it's just so well balanced and blended that I really enjoy wearing this one. And it is a full-on gourmand, but one of the best gourmands I've smelled. That's a first impression. That's the first time I've tested it. Remember the name, Manos Garikinis Methexis. On Tuesday, I wore a Chanel Les Exclusives. Boy, my first Les Exclusive. I still love it. Boy really sneaks under your guard. I've mentioned this before. You spray it on, it is just a pleasant, well-made perfume, lovely balance of notes, fresh, and then you have those moments during the day where you suddenly realize, oh shit, I still smell good, and it's because I'm still wearing Boy. So Boy is always a pleasure to wear. Okay, time for me to say thank you. Look, I've talked about briefly trying Celine perfumes, and I've now sort of smelled several of them. And overall, generally, I've been a little bit indifferent about them. Maybe perhaps expecting too much compared to what they're worth or what they're selling for. But I've listened to opinions of my friends. I know when I did a live stream some time ago with Hannah, Canadian beauty blog, a couple of people, including herself, mentioned night clubbing, and that one is probably the most highly rated of that Celine line. And I had my sample and I wore it on the Tuesday, and I have to say I really, really like it, and there's a reason why people really, really like it. I think the interesting thing about combining Oris with something like galbanum is that it creates an interesting texture. And when I remember back a few days wearing night clubbing, the thing that was keeping me hooked on it was how it felt on my skin, almost. And it's strange. I'm still talking about smell, but this one came across as more of a textural thing. Normally, I smell things and I can imagine colors or even sounds. They conjure an image. This one is all about texture, and I really, really enjoyed night clubbing. So I'll use up whatever I have left in the sample, and eventually I will do a review. Wednesday, not much. Well, when I say not much, I just went with two things I knew I would be happy with Au Noir from Christian Dior. And this is probably one of my, I don't know if the word underrated is correct, but Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense is that perfume where you spray it on and, you know, you may not have worn it for months. And in this case, I had not worn it. Probably last time I wore it was back in March. And there's never a time where I've sprayed this on and thought to myself, oh, I've made a mistake today. It's never a mistake wearing Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense. What day am I up to? Thursday? New York Intense. I know that's a 30ml bottle and I have a little bit left in the bottle, but I do have another sort of 10ml decant. New York Intense is funny because I feel like I like this scent a lot. I like this perfume a lot. I don't feel like when I finish this eventually that I will be wanting to replace it. And I think it's just because I don't think that I'd be missing it in my particular wardrobe, because I do have one or two fragrances that sort of cover this area that I actually like more. If I think, you know, something like Guerlain's Heritage does what New York Intense does for me, in a way that I like better. I like the way that wears on my skin more. I probably like that patchouli base in Heritage more than I like the mossy base in this. This can be a little bit screechy in the opening with the citruses and the petitgrain in particular. But overall, it's a great perfume. I just don't think it is something that is irreplaceable in my wardrobe. So, you know, that's how I feel about New York Intense. Then I followed up with Gucci Guilty Absolute. I think one of the best designer releases of the last decade, one of the best. And definitely a unique leather accord we have here. Friday started off with Hermès Bel Ami, one of my favorite. You know, speaking of mossy bases, I love the base of this, but you know, that leather and those herbs and that herbal opening with the citruses. This is like a perfume, and I'm not implying at all that they're similar perfumes or they're dupes or whatever, but something like Bel Ami and Heritage do what I can get from New York Intense already, and I like these ones more. Fragrances that make me sad. Absolu pour le soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. That's how much I have left. I am already kind of mourning its loss. I don't expect that I will find another bottle. Maybe I will, who knows. And I believe it's been discontinued. And as always, it was a beautiful, beautiful wear. Saturday, we had some milder weather, so I went with something I hadn't worn for a while, Guerlain's Vetiver. To me, the perfume that was made back in the late 50s, early 60s, 1960, 59, it is still, well, I mean, as far as vetiver perfumes, they got it right first time. It's kind of, you know, hasn't really been improved on, I don't think, from what I've smelled anyway. And definitely not for the price you can get this at. One of my favorite perfumes ever, Helmut Lang Eau de Parfum. Beautiful, beautiful, lovely, lush, gorgeous, heavenly. I love it. And we come to today, Sunday. I have been basking in Roche's femme all day, but I've just showered, come back from a day out in the sunshine, mind you. It's been cool, chilly, but it was a beautiful day today. I'm going to end the evening with Chanel's Antaeus. This is another perfume that, as much as I love, it's so good. I oscillate between smelling this and loving it, and then when I'm not wearing it, and I do this with several of my perfumes, and when I'm not wearing it, I wonder if I would replace it. But who knows? Who knows? I've still got quite a bit left. I can't see how much I have got left actually, but I've had this for several years now. Only 50 ml. I probably will replace it. I hope everyone has had a higher energy week than I have. Oh, I wanted to do something different. I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I'm going to start giving you my highlights and lowlights for the week. And I've got to say, my highlights for the week have been, as always, it's always a highlight when I wear Absolute pour le soir. But I'm going to give it to nightclubbing because I really was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So I've got a couple of mils left here. I may go for a bigger decant when this is finished. I still don't know if I'll fork out for a full bottle, but I could be happy with a 10 ml decant. Do I have a low light this week? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to give you a highlight, low light anyway. It's not so much a low light, but you know, just the fact that I was thinking about New York Intense and whether I would persist with it, I'll make that the low light of the week. I hope you had a great 7 days, these past 7 days. I will see you soon with another video. So enjoy your weekend. See you, everyone. Bye.